Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi. Hello. Hi, Dr. Ravi. Just give me a second.
Good
Let me
afternoon,
just
sir.
adjust my video. Hi, good afternoon.
I request Miss Madhuri to kindly start the session.
Hello everyone, good afternoon all. I hope you all are fine and doing well in this time of global pandemic. I'm Madhuri Gupta, BPT final year student of Banasidas Chandiwala Institute of Physiotherapy. I'm delighted to welcome you all for today's webinar on resume writing. As we know, for most of the people, their resume describes your qualifications and makes them unique. To stand out among other applicants, you need a resume that markets your strengths and matches for the job. To give you the platform to display your skills and experience, we have organized today's webinar on how to write a resume. Now, I would like to introduce and welcome our eminent speaker for this webinar, Mr. Rajat Vasisht, who is going to enlighten us on the details of how to write a resume. Sir is presently working as the business head of GetSet Resumes and Resumate Company. Sir holds Bachelor's of Engineering from Delhi College of Engineering. Sir is the founder of Rocket Resume Builder, which is an automated resume writing solution. He has also worked as a senior business analyst in Evaluator. He made many achievements, such as their Falcon Mind shortlisted him as one of the finalists for 2016's Red Hiring 100 Asia. Thanks a lot, sir, for joining us. Now I request you to kindly take over the session and enlighten us.
Sure. Thank you so much, Madhuri. Hi, everyone. My name is Rajat. So, Madhuri misspelled a few names. So, I am currently heading GetSet Resumes as well as Resumod. Resumod is an automated platform where we help students build their resumes in a few minutes, if not seconds. And that is what we'll be demoing to you guys as well today. I hope you guys have registered and created a sort of an account on Resumod, because that will save everybody a lot of time. In case during the presentation, if anybody has any questions, you can raise your hand. There is an option to do that here, or you can leave a comment in the chat window. I'll take all your questions one by one. Also, we'll have a small Q&A session at the end of the workshop. Okay, so the idea of this workshop is to quickly Dr. Avi or maybe Madhuri, what exactly is the batch breakup? Like, how many of them are final year students? What exactly are all final year students? If you could just let me know. Okay, I believe. Okay, so see, I'll need some cues in between so that I know that you guys are listening and I am audible. So somebody needs to just answer. Maybe Madhuri can do that. Madhuri, are you still here or?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I'm asking something, or maybe you could just give me a cue that a particular section is done, and then we'll move on to the next one. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
am I the host? Can I share my screen? Is it have you made me the host? Because I'll have to share the presentation.
Okay, wait, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can share your screen.
Okay. All right. Okay, you guys can see the presentation, right? Madhuri, can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So this is the agenda for today. Okay. Uh, we will be discussing why your resume is important, how you should write your resume, and we'll help you build a resume on Resumod's platform while as I speak. So this is a general slide. So why basically is your resume important? So what happens, when you apply to a particular job outside of your campus or even within the campus, your resume is the only way your employer can judge whether they should hire you or not. Until and unless your resume gets screened, you do not get face time. You do not get that time to present yourself at the interview table. Okay, so the first step to any job interview is going to be your resume. You need to make sure that your resume creates an impact and at the end of the day the employer likes what they see and they hires you, or rather they call you at least to present yourself. Okay. Even if you apply for a higher education, you will need a resume. Even if you are going outside of India, going for an international employment anywhere, they will ask your resume. Even in fact at a lot of on a lot of occasions, even if you're traveling, the embassies sometimes ask for your resume just to see what you've been doing, and if they should grant you a visa or not. There are three things which will always have an impact on your resume. The first thing is your education, where you've been educated from, what degree you have, which school you've been educated at, and the marks that you carry. So if you're a topper, then obviously you have better chance of getting to an interview table than somebody who's not scored much. The second is your certifications. If you've done any upskilling course during your curriculum or even outside your curriculum. And the third would be your internships. Any internships, any projects that you've taken up in the last few years. Practical exposure weighs more than any other experience, any other education, any certification. So the most important thing would be your projects and your internships that you've undergone in the last few years. Everything else in your resume is secondary, and it may or may not be read. It may or may not have any bearing on whether you're going to be called for an interview. Okay. All right. uh, okay, so at this point I would ask all of you to open resume.in. Okay, so since this is a live workshop, we will be helping you prepare your resume on resume itself as we speak. All right, now I need some cues as to whether you've opened Resumod or not, whether you've signed in or not. If you guys don't give me a cue, then I'll probably wrap everything up in 10 minutes, and it would not be beneficial for anyone. So Madhuri, see if you can do that for me. All right. So just let me
Okay, sir.
know. Okay. So just open Resumod.in. I'll share my screen once again, and okay, Madhuri, can you see my screen? You can, right? So
Yes, sir.
when you open resume, you need to click on start building your resume. And if you are already signed in, then you would come to this page. If you are not signed in, then it will take you to this page. Okay. At this point, I don't want you to select any template or anything. These are pre-defined templates that we have created. Uh, you can select this elegant format to begin with, and just select the gray color, and click on create resume. But before that, I would want that you click on login and just sign in with your Google ID. Okay. Click on login at the top right of your screen, and click on login with Google, and just log into the panel with with your Google ID. Once you log in, it'll take you to this dashboard where you need to just click on edit, and you will be directed to this screen. Now at this point, if you are on this screen, just let me know. If you're not on this screen, I'll wait and I'll give you that guidance once again. Madhuri, were you able to get to this screen?
Yes, sir.
You've logged in? Okay,
Yes, sir.
great. Just check with the batch if others are here as well. If there's anybody who's having any issue in coming here, reaching to this. Okay, we are on the screen. Great. Just put it on chat. All right, that's cool. If you are not able to, if anybody is not able to come to the screen, just let me know. I'll wait. Okay. So I hope everybody is here. Then let's just start. So the first section, okay, so before we begin, click on this black bar here, at the bottom left. You'll again go back to the resume template screen where you can change your template. Here, I would like you to select the elegant template and the gray color. Okay, select elegant, select gray, and click on create resume. Okay, and this black bar will now show elegant as the template that you've selected. Okay, I'm assuming that you've done this. Now the first section of your resume is the personal details section where you need to talk about what you've done, or rather just your personal details. So quickly just fill this up. This will have your complete name, your title. Now your title would be the course that you're undertaking right now. So in your case it would be uh, this, I don't know how this line is coming. Is there someone else who's doing this or what? Anyways, so fill in your details. Start filling in your full name. Your title would be undergraduate physiotherapist or physiotherapy undergraduate at BCIP. Let me just stop this share for a while. Let me just resume in a minute. Okay, cool. So fill in your full name. Your title would be undergraduate or graduate physiotherapist from BCIP or IP University, or it could be, physical physiotherapy, physiotherapy graduate trainee from BCIP. Or you could also mention doctor. If you guys write doctor, while you're in the course, then you can write that as well. You could write sports physiotherapist or undergraduate for sports physiotherapist, or you could write something like, an enthusiast, sports physiotherapy enthusiast, or sports physiotherapy aspirant, and then which college you're from. If you are a gold medalist, then you can write here that you're a gold medalist, comma physiotherapy graduate, comma BCIP. Okay, so your title has to be a very small introduction for you, and in a few words, it should tell any employer, who you are, just by looking at the resume. Enter your email address, enter your phone number. You may or may not have a LinkedIn URL, so you can leave that blank. And in the physical address, just enter your city and state. No need to enter the entire house number and the entire address. It is not required. All right, I am assuming this should be done now. If anybody has any question regarding the title that you should be writing, just let me know. Should we move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Great. So the next section is summary. All right. I'll just give you some examples for your summary now. What basically your summary is, again, just like your title, a summary is a little more elaborate in the sense that it tells your employer who you are, what you are good at, and why should I actually entertain you for the next few minutes in an interview. So it's a 2-liner, 3-liner summary which you need to create now for yourself. The summary talks about what subjects you are good at. Summary would talk about a brief introduction about you, which subjects that you've taken in your course that you have practical exposure in, and as a person, what you feel about yourself, what are your soft skills, and what you are bringing to the organization. Okay, so this is an example. I have more examples. I'll just show you. So this is a small example: young and energetic, BPT, Bachelor of Physiotherapy. Now you can write undergraduate or graduate depending on which year you are in, from BCIP, with a sound knowledge and practical exposure in biomechanics, exercise therapy, and disability prevention. So this could be a summary that you could start with. And then a second sentence which talks about soft skills, strong inclination towards community welfare, willing to learn and put in hard work for the health and welfare of the society. A very generic statement, but as a physiotherapist, this is possibly what you are going to aim for. So this works as a small decent summary for anyone. You can change your subjects if, let's say, biomechanics is not your forte. Let's say you are into something else, let's say you are into sports therapy, or let's say you are into only disability prevention, or it could be something else. It could be neurophysiology, it could be orthopedics, it could be electrotherapy. Whatever your exposure has been, wherever you've taken a practical training in, you can just replace these three topics with those subjects, and make sure that your summary is customized to who you are and what you have done. Try to write a summary, use the keywords here. I'll show you a few more examples. These are four more examples that we were able to create for you. So the first example is pursuing bachelor's in physiotherapy, strong skills in A, B, and C, which are whatever your strongest subjects are, and team coordination with a highly professional approach in dealing with and healing patients and resolving queries. The second one is sports physical therapist with an excellent knowledge of prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation of sports and athletic injuries, familiar with special equipment and treatment modalities to build athletic strength and flexibility while promoting healing. Then qualified PT. PT again is a physiotherapist with an excellent know-how in counseling for performance and health, translating the latest scientific evidence into practical recommendations, tracking and documenting outcome of physiotherapy services, and maintaining professional competency required for professional practice. And then the last one is a little longer. Again, you can customize it as per your own, what you want to write. Now, this is going to take time for you to write a summary. So again, until I know that you guys have written, I may not move to the next section. Or if you want to take time and you want to write it later, then again, you need to give me a cue. So if have you written anything? Has anybody written? Just put in the chat box if you have written any summary, or you can, if you have written something and you want me to review, again, you can put it in the chat box. So I don't know if you guys are writing down, or should I wait, Madhuri, or should I move ahead?
Sir, I think you should move ahead. They can write it later.
Okay, then all right, fair enough. So the next section is education. Okay, after you're done with your summary, you can just do a preview here. If you click on preview, your resume would open up. Okay, it'll show your details that you've filled so far and the summary that you've written. Okay, the rest of the stuff we will be filling. Click on back to editor, click on save and next here, and move to the education section. Now here you need to write about your all your degrees and all your diplomas and all your class 12 and class 10 marks that you've obtained over the years. So we start with the most recent degree, which is your bachelor's in physiotherapy. So you write your school and college name here, write your degree and specialization, and just mention your year of passing. And if you're pursuing, just click on pursuing here. Your CGPA or your percentage so far comes under this section. Now here, if you've so your college name should come in the drop down. So Banarsi Das Chandiwala Institute of Physiotherapy. So it's coming here. So you can actually just write Banarsi Das, and this institute name would automatically be picked by our software. The other option is you could just not write the institute name and just write IP University. I think that is also picked up. If we write Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University. So this you can also write this. In your degree, you would write bachelor's in physiotherapy, again year of passing, or write pursuing. And if there are any other details, if you've won any scholarship, if you've won any award during your curriculum, you can write it here. Followed by your class 12, followed by your class 10. Okay. Now class 12 and class 10 would come like this. So class 10, let's say, would be XYZ school, comma CB, comma Delhi, and then degree name would be class 12, class 10, CBSE. Okay, so this is how you should write your school details, and no need to write the year from, just write the year of passing, which will be whatever your year is in your case. So it could be 2017, 16, 15. And then again the CGPA, whatever percentage you got. So let's say you got 80%, just write 80%. All right, it'll be beneficial if you could do this while we are speaking, because any doubts that come, we can actually take them. This section, it is going to take me 5 minutes to run through this if you guys don't respond, so I'm okay with that. So is everybody on the education section? Have you are you trying to fill it up? Okay, so somebody wrote Disha Grover taken. Okay, see, what happens is you guys can take a screenshot. That's absolutely fine by me. We can quickly move on to the next slide, but try to be a little original. See, right now there are 90 people in the presentation, and there are many more on YouTube possibly. If all of you guys write the same summary, then all of you will not get selected. Okay, so make sure that when you write a summary, it should have a flavor of who you are. People who've not taken a screenshot, they can also take a screenshot now. But these summaries, you will get plenty of summaries, plenty of options you'll get on the internet. The problem is that if you guys don't do it for yourself, and if everybody writes the same thing, then all of your resumes will look the same, and eventually if nobody will get hired. Okay, so make sure that your summary has something which is uniquely you, and it represents you. Okay, now coming to the next section, we'll talk about experience and internships. So here we'll write about all the internships that we've undertaken so far. If you've had a formal experience also, we will be talking about it. Always make sure that your resume has experience and internships mentioned in the reverse order. Reverse means the most recent job comes first, followed by the one which was prior to the most recent, followed by the oldest. Okay, so the most recent, the latest job, the latest internship will be at the top. Okay, so let's say you've worked with ABC Hospital in the physiotherapy department, and you were an intern physiotherapist. Okay, so write it here, write the hospital name, write the designation department, which date, which month from, and which date, which month to. So let's say you worked there from 2019 January to June 2019. Okay, so if you're currently working here, you click on this. Okay, now responsibilities. Now what could be the responsibilities? So typically you can get employments at nursing homes, hospitals, private clinics, community centers, at charitable organizations or schools. Okay, now at all of these places, your responsibilities would typically be helping patients recovering from accidents or illness or injury, ensuring that their therapy goes up as planned, creating plans for them, providing them with massages or any other therapy that they require, ensuring that there is proper equipment, and recording that equipment's readings, and making sure that you report everything. Okay, collecting those statistics. So these could be some of the tasks. So the idea is that all of these tasks will go as responsibilities for you under the responsibility section. Moreover, you have to make sure that when you write a sentence, you write it in an action oriented form. Okay, so every sentence that you write in your resume, that should begin with an action verb. A verb which ends in ed, okay, is an action verb, generally a verb which denotes that you performed some action. And if that action led to some result, if you could talk about a particular number or particular KPI from that particular sentence or that particular responsibility, then it is even better. So something like, let's say if you write treated patients who have had road accidents in the past 6 months. Okay, let's say you were doing the physiotherapy for those. So one way to mention that is worked as a physiotherapy consultant for road accident victims coming into ABC hospital from January to June 2019. Okay, the other way of writing this is treated 25 road accident victims in a span of 6 months, or with complex injuries, injuries from with injuries ranging from spinal cord fractures to leg fractures as well as head injuries. So there are different ways of presenting the same information. Okay, the more you detail it out in terms of numbers, in terms of the actual injury that you are healing, the better it will be for your resume. All right, I hope I've made sense. So try to write some of your responsibilities in this section when you talk about your internships. Try to fill in your internships in the reverse order, as I said. The most recent ones would come first at the top, and then the junior, or rather the older internships. Once again, I don't know if there is any question. Education section completed. Okay, great. All right. So you can please ask anything related to, maybe you did something, you are not sure about how to mention that, or know whether to include the entire internship or not. It could be okay. One more question that comes generally is that if you did a voluntary role somewhere and it was unpaid and you do not have a certificate for it, then it will not come under internship. Okay, for that we have a separate section under extracurriculars where we will talk about the voluntary roles. Okay, so if you worked for an NGO and you helped in healing patients or anything, that will not be a part of your internship. Anything that goes under internship, you need to have a valid certificate, valid employment letter for it, even if it is unpaid, but a letter from an employer is a must. Okay, and the idea behind experience in internships is that you've gained some skill out of it. So there are two chats. Great, now some questions are coming. Do we have to mention the different departments like ortho, gynae? It's good if you want to. It's good if you want to. So let's say you worked overall for 6 months, and 3 months you worked in the ortho department, 3 months you worked in the gynae department. So there are two ways to mention it. Either you can, if you do not have different certificates for both and your certificate doesn't mention that you worked in both departments for this duration, then you just write a single department. You just write intern physiotherapist, and in the bracket you can mention physiotherapist for orthopedics. Okay, sorry, my spelling is a little gynecology. All right, so this is how you can mention it, ortho gynecology. Okay, otherwise you can also talk about this here. So you can write the first bullet point as interned in the ortho and gynae department for three months each, and you don't have to separately write to talk about the internships as that these were two internships, because eventually you would have gotten a single certificate for it. So just write that you interned in the ortho and gynae department. Okay, something like this. So you can elaborate on this. Okay. Sir is the only option of months coming, not years in year of passing. In education. Yeah, no, year you have to type, no? 2019, you can just type it here. Okay. So year you need to type. Great. So this department thing is also understood then. Let's so once you're done, let's say you've mentioned the first JD that you were supposed to write, then you click on add another experience and just write the older job description. So write the second company, second designation, date from, date to, and then similarly you can write about the responsibilities. Okay. Great. Let's move on to the next section, which is skills. So Amit, are you here? So Amit, okay, just unmute yourself then.
Yes, I'm there.
Hi. Okay, so Amit from my team will just quickly guide you on how the skills section needs to be, filled, and what are the skills basically, that you should be talking about. So I'll just put the correct slide here. Right. So Amit, over to you. So you can quickly just tell them about the skill section. So we will be writing 7 to 8 skills in this resume. Now it will be best if all of you can just follow Amit's cues and follow the screen, that you see, and just try to write all the skills that you can. Don't increase it beyond 8. Maximum what we try is that we should have 5 hard skills and 3 soft skills, not more than this. It could be less. Okay, Amit, over to you.
Okay. Yeah. So, hello. Basically, your skill section is a part of the resume where you list the skills and abilities that you have that you find are necessary for the job you are applying to, right? So, this part of the resume might seem quite uncomplicated. After all, you probably know that at least some of your skills and abilities uh, which you have been learning throughout your course, right? In the end, listing them on a resume is relatively easy. But then again, when you are actually writing them into the draft, you have space constraints. You don't know how to segregate the skills in maybe 2 to 3 sections, right? So there might be some questions that you might think of, like, let's say, why do I need a skill section on my resume? And what skills should I include? And are there any skills which I should omit? Or what if I don't have any skills that are relevant for the job? So basically, we should actually put together all the skills that a recruiter should actually find out while searching for a job. So let's say, as you might already know, most recruiters only need about 6 seconds to decide whether a resume is worth reading or not. So these 6 seconds would be most impressive if you end up writing the perfect skills which are aligning to the organization, as well as portray your skills and experience very well. So basically, as a physiotherapist, you can divide your skills into 3 sections. First could be the basic medical courses, the medical purview which you have learned throughout your entire academic journey. Like, let's say, your subjects, maybe the anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, psychology, sociology, all these subjects which you have been studying, right? The second section could be a soft skill section where you can tell that you are how good you are in your interpersonal skills, or how good you are in taking up responsibilities in a maybe pressure situation, how good you are in coordinating with your team, how good you are in maintaining a rapport with your patients, right? So all these things would make a good impression on the resume. And the third part could be a technical purview section in which you could write the softwares you are proficient in. Like in the current scenario, maybe you are supposed to take up a video session with some of your patient, right? So a technical purview section would help the recruiter know that you are able to cope up with all the technical hassles or troubleshooting when you would be taking up maybe an online video session with your patient. So all these things, sir. Rajat, you can proceed with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can write a small, one liner about how good you are with your technical skills. So let's say you are good with online consultations. Let's say you're good with, you understand Zoom and Microsoft Teams and Google Meet and everything. So what you can do is, you can just write a small one liner here, technically sound, with the usage of Zoom and what Google Meets and video conferencing softwares. Okay, this is a small one-liner after your summary and it will show here. So when you click on preview, it will just show here that you're technically sound with the usage. So anybody who's reading your resume, they will know that you have this technical skill and they can trust you with any technology stuff that happens in their office, because generally doctors are not good with technology. So if you mention this, it can actually come up as a differentiating factor. Now these are some of the skills that your course actually teaches you. So physiotherapeutic in sports, general cardiothoracic, electrotherapy, heat therapy, hydrotherapy, research methodology, biostatistics, muscle stretches, exercise therapy, biomechanics, evidence-based physiotherapy in practice. All of these skills could come here. Okay, so just mention 5 skills in this section. One skill, rate yourself how good you are, 4 or 5. The second skill, again rate yourself. Third skill, rate yourself. Pick any 5 skills from here. And if you are, you can also write 8 core skills. Soft skills are generally, if you have something to write, that you're good with a team, you have a very good listening ability, you can build a great rapport, you can also talk about that in your skill section. Okay, we'll now move on to projects. So in your case, generally there are no projects, which is what I feel, but in case there is anything. Okay, what type, font and style? Okay, I'll answer both the questions. See, font and all you don't have to worry about, because the font that we are using are standard fonts here. So if you're going to prepare your resume on Resumod, then you don't have to worry about the font and style. All of it is taken care of. You're using very standard fonts, Sego generally. But if you're using MS Word, then go for Sego, SEGOEUI. Okay, I'll just mention here. This is a very professional font. Tahoma is also a good font. Apart from this, the regular Arial and Times New Roman, these are also standard fonts. You can use these. And if you do not understand which font to use, Resumod you don't have to worry about. We use Sego, which is a standard font. Now rating yourself 5 will create what kind of impression? It will not create any impression. Don't worry about it. This is just based on your understanding that out of all the other skills that I possess, I am very good at these particular skills. Okay, so you might rate yourself 5 in everything. You can rate yourself 5 in maybe one skill, and then the rest of the skills you can rate yourself 4. But it just gives an impression. You're not rating yourself, you're not telling the employer that you are best in this and there is nobody else better than you. What you're just telling the employer here is that I am very good at this is what I believe I'm good at, but there is obviously a scope of learning and I will make sure that I get better at it. Okay, so if somebody questions you that why have you rated yourself 5 in this, then you can always tell them that this is my impression of what I this is my impression of what I know. Obviously, I know that I'm not the best in the business, but this is just that in the curriculum, what all I have learned, I have been very good at it, and I have understood this particular subject very well. Okay. Now we'll move on to projects. I think what should we write in rating column? Nothing. That is, you just leave it blank. That is for future use. We would be creating more formats and we'll come up with those things. In the particular format, your rating will also not appear. So if you look at the preview, the rating will not be appearing. This is just for your own record. So here there is no rating, but if you change the format to something else, you might have a rating which will appear. Okay. You can leave this rating column blank. We'll move on to projects. I'm assuming you will not have any projects. So far, I mean, your curriculum would not allow projects. So I'll just skip directly to professional enhancements. If in case there is anything related to project that you want to add, please put it in the comment box. Now in professional enhancements, there are 3 sections. First, before I go to professional enhancements, I want to tell you here that you can edit any section name. Okay. So here, professional enhancements, if you want to change this to something else, you can do this. Okay. All these section names are also editable. You can also change these names. Okay. So any section name you can edit, even here. So somebody is asking. So if you have researches and if you want to mention them as projects, you can change the section name to thesis. Write your thesis title here. If there is a URL, write it here and write what the thesis was about in the responsibility section. Okay. You can also change this section name to research and thesis. Okay. Mention this. Mention the title of the research here. Talk about that topic here. Mention the title of the thesis here. Talk about it here. When you click on preview, it will appear in your resume. Research and thesis, whatever the project was, you can always mention it. Okay. Great. Good you asked. We'll move on to professional enhancements. So professional enhancements has 3 sections: awards, certifications, and courses. Okay, courses or workshops. So here these are self-explanatory. If you have any certification beyond I'm sorry. So beyond the scope of your curriculum, if you have any certifications, you can pick those up, write them here. So let's say you are certified in biomechanics, or you have taken a certification in heat therapy from some external source. Right here, certified in heat therapy. Whatever the authority's name is and the year. Okay, so this way you can just talk about all the certifications that you have. Any workshops that you have attended, talk about them here. And if you have any curriculum related awards, scholarships, any special mentions, any dean's list, if you have made it to the top 10 or top 5 in your batch, you can always mention that in these awards. So professional enhancements awards, these are related to your curriculum, your hard core job that you would be looking for. Okay. Apart from this, we have another section which is extracurricular. Now in extracurricular, we talk about anything that was not a part of your curriculum. So things like your fest, college fest, that you did, any voluntary activity that you performed, any sports that you represented your college in. Okay, those things come in this. So these are not related to your subject, not related to the coursework that you were studying, not related to the job also that you would be doing. They just tell the employer how wholesome a personality you are. Okay, what your overall development was in the last few years. So in positions of responsibility, talk about any organization activity that you did. In volunteering, talk about any NGO work that you did, anything that you did free of cost for the welfare of the society in general. In sports, you can talk about any sporting achievements. Let's say you played table tennis and you represented your college in inter college events in the IP University or anything. You can talk about it here. In interests, any subject that interests you, anything that you want the employer to know that in future I would be pursuing a course. So I don't know how these markings are coming in, who's doing, somebody is doing this. So anyways, uh, in interest, you can talk about the interest that you have. So let's say you are interested in pursuing an advanced course in biomechanics tomorrow later on. So you can just write that here, that I'm interested in advanced biomechanics and I would be maybe pursuing the course from London next year. So it just tells the employer that you are ambitious. Publications, again, if you are published anywhere, if you have a white paper or anything, you can write it here. You can also put that here. I mean, you can change workshops to publications and maybe write about publications there. And then again, languages, if you have multiple languages. Okay. If there's any section, if you feel all these sections are filled and you still have something that you want to talk about, but there is no section available, click on extra, change the section name, whatever you want to, and just write the particular stuff that you want to write here. All right, this is just an additional placeholder. Okay, so once you are done with this, click on save and preview. Click on this zoom out button. It will show you the resume that you've created. You can also click on download. So in my case, my subscription is over, but for 1 month it'll be free of cost. Resume. After that, it charges you a very nominal amount of 99 rupees. So you don't have to go anywhere. Your resume is saved here all the time. You can access it anytime. Whenever you want to use it, you pay it only, pay for it only at that time. You don't have to pay for it again and again. Okay. So this is how your resume should probably look like. Once it is ready, you can just download it. The PDF will be downloaded to your system. You can anytime come back and make changes and again preview and download anytime you want. You can also change your format from here. Click on that bar, select any format that you want, click on create, click on preview, and the resume format would be changed. So this is the new format. Again, the scale rating will appear in this format, sleek format. So you can just select this, click on preview. It will show you this particular format. This is where your bar would show 5 out of 5 and 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5. All right. So I'm ready to take any questions that you might have. Otherwise, we will end this session.
If anybody wants to ask some question, please ask and write in the chat box.
No. All this strength and weakness, did you see me talking about it in the resume? We don't mention the strength and weakness. We just talk about our skills. Okay. So don't talk about your strengths or weaknesses in the resume. Just talk about your skills. जो आता है, जो सीखा है in your curriculum, just talk about that. All right. या तो with either you know clinical physiotherapy or you do not know clinical physiotherapy. There is no other way, right? So talk about clinical physiotherapy in your resume if you know it. If you do not know it, don't talk about it. So इसमें strength weakness का कोई वो नहीं है. Can you please explain summary quickly? Okay, I'll quickly explain summary. So see the screen once again. For summary, we are talking about 2 sentences. Okay, just 2. So just a second. Yeah. So we're talking about 2 sentences. The first sentence talks about your hard skill. The second sentence talks about either the hard skill or soft skill. So hard skill ke liye what we are doing is we're writing about who you are, first an introduction. you are an energetic BPT graduate from BCIP with a sound knowledge of A, B, and C, three skills. Pick any three skills that you have, any three course curriculum stuff that you've picked up very nicely and you know that you're confident. इसका exam आपने सबसे अच्छा दिया. Okay, those three exams you pick up and you talk about those here, and obviously only those exams where you want to pursue your career also. तो ये नहीं कि एग्जाम तो एक में अच्छा कर दिया बट करियर कहीं और बनाना है, तो वो you have to use your head. Okay, pick those three skills and create one sentence for those particular three or four subjects, and the second sentence could again be an extension of your hard skills, like in this case, sports physical therapist with excellent knowledge of A, B, and C, prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation of sport and athletic injuries. Clear है इस बंदे को sports therapy में जाना. Okay. The second is second sentence is again इसके case में it's a hard skill only, familiar with special equipment and treatment modalities to build athletic strength and flexibility. Okay, this is what you can also write. Otherwise एक soft skill लगा दो, professional approach in dealing with and healing patients and resolving their queries. ये soft है because ये कोई भी लिख सकता है. Okay, inclination towards community welfare, willing to put in hard work for the welfare of the society. This is a soft skill. This is not hard. Although curriculum में सिखाया है, but generally this is true for anyone. This is not generally true for you. आपके batch में कोई भी लिख सकता है. Okay, so this is basically how you write a summary, 2 sentences, and then if you're technically sound in something, you can write about it as an additional sentence. Okay, Muskan has asked a good question. See, it is always better to position yourself as a specialist. Generalist, is not a great thing. Although ज़्यादा roles, ज़्यादा opportunity मिल जाएंगी if you present yourself as a generalist. But if you present yourself as a specialist, you might start slow, but you will always rise to the top and you will always be in a position where nobody else could be. Okay, it'll take you some time, but you'll build your skills very well. One skill that you've picked up, you'll build up on it. आपको उसकी deeper expertise भी होगी. Gradually, you will become, one of the very few people who are good at it. And then you will start getting paid more also for that particular skill. So we suggest that you should show yourself as a specialist. That is why I'm continuously telling you to pick only 3 skills. वरना आपको आता तो सब है, right? You can talk about anything. You can talk about any of these topics. Okay, but I'm continuously asking you कि आप कोई 3 ही skills उठाओ that you're really good at and only talk about those in the resume. Should we specify gist of our resume also? Yeah, of course. If you, so I am assuming, because nobody is actually telling me anything, so I assume that all of you have 0 years of experience. So that is why I didn't talk about it. But if you have experience, then you talk about it in the same manner. You write experienced physiotherapist with 4 years of experience in sports therapy or in biomechanical healing, whatever it is that you've done. Okay, write about your experience if you have experience. Anything else? Amit, are you here?
Yes, I am.
So Amit, you wanted to talk about ATS, na? You can just quickly give them a brief about ATS.
Yes, ATS. Actually, ATS currently is being used by most of the latest companies as a computer eyes, as the computer eyes of a HR, right? Basically, when you apply through any job portal, let's say LinkedIn, Naukri.com, Monster.com, Glassdoor.com, any website will firstly initially shortlist you on the basis of ATS. What ATS does is compares your resume to the target job description to which you are applying, right? So let's say the target job description has some 100 words and your resume has some 1,000 words. If those 100 words or the most of the important keywords amongst those 100 words are present in your resume, so your resume automatically gets up in the ATS results. Let's say there are 100 applicants to a specific job, and you are among the top 20 who have all the skills listed. So you will get shortlisted for the initial interview. So basically mentioning the keywords which are in the target job descriptions and aligning your resume to the job you're applying to is a very important aspect of getting shortlisted in any job. So basically the keywords and skills which you write in a resume throughout, maybe in the summary, in the skill section, in the job description, everywhere. Hello.
Yeah, Amit. I think we
Yeah.
lost you for a second.
Yeah.
But
So
okay.
everywhere the words which we use in throughout the resume, in every section of the resume, should be very perfectly aligned towards the job that you are applying. Don't use any overused buzzwords like a flexible, quick learner, excellent skills, exceptionally well. Like these skills, these words not only portray that you are just copy pasting it from somewhere, but also that you are not sincere enough to portray yourself in the resume properly. So yeah, that is one thing. Any doubts about ATS you could ask, and I'll be open to answer them.
So if you have any questions about ATS, you can ask here. If you don't have a certificate for a particular job or volunteership, do we have to add that also? So you can add it as a volunteer thing. That's okay. Uh, for voluntary roles, it's absolutely fine. But if you do not have a certificate for a job, then I mean, see, you can add anything that you want, but it is up to the employer to reject that job or not take it into consideration. So that is an employer's choice. Okay, Akanksha. So we have done 1 month clinical training in a hospital for 3 times in different hospitals. Different hospitals, you mean different locations, which is different from internship. I'm sorry, I didn't understand. We have done 1 month clinical training in a hospital for 3 times in different hospitals, which is different from internship. Where should be specified this? This is a training. So you can talk about it under professional enhancement. You can change this workshop section to trainings. And you can write about it here. Okay. So you can write that clinical training, underwent clinical training at ABC Hospital for 3 locations, and just specify the duration also. Great. Fine then. Uh, if there are no more questions, then ma'am, I think we can wrap up as well.
Thank you, sir. That was quite informative. It was such a pleasure to have you here with us. On behalf of PCIP, I would like to thank you for enlightening us and for shining out more light on this topic. That was very informative and worthwhile. Our next webinar on importance of artificial intelligence in physiotherapy on 3rd December. Stay tuned. Thanks to all the viewers.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Rajat.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.